fascinating because it seems to me that it's not just Project Thaw within the family. It seems to be a Project Thaw with the British public, because these are their ratings as of April, and they haven't gotten any better.
Ooh.
Meghan's approval rating is at 20%. It's up from 19. So good for her. Harry's is right there hovering around 30%. Their disapproval ratings are through the roof. And so I have been told that this is also their way to look at the British public and say, hi, guys, remember us? Don't you remember how you loved us? But I think that road's going to be very, very difficult, don't you? I mean, they literally looked at the British public and said, not only is our family racist, you're racist, we don't like you, we're out of here. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and I think they only have themselves to blame. I mean, the documentary Harry and Meghan had a lot of talking heads, and all of the British talking heads said things about the country that I simply don't recognise, and said that it was a very racially divided society, it was a racist country. And I thought, you know, in the context of America, then no, I mean, just no. And I think we are, of course, every society has its issues, and nobody is sitting here saying we're perfect, but I think it's very much a country where, you know, there is tolerance, kindness, our famous old British politeness, you know, no. And we come to the defense of people who are bullied. We aren't the bully. We don't punch down. We don't like that stuff. So no, you know, I think, and they held up a mirror to society in that series, and they very much accused the British people of being racist, just as they did the royal family. So yeah, people really, you know, that's a very hard one to sugar over. And on this visit, I don't think there's going to be that much chance for it, because there are a limited number of sort of set piece, you know, Invictus things. I don't know, that will move the dial, you know, for the public. But that you know, Project Thaw for the public, that's going to take years, I think. So this visit is not it. This is the first, and there will have to be dozens, hundreds more visits, won't there? And, you know, maybe they'll come and spend every summer in the UK. Maybe that's what they want.
Oh, dear Lord. I feel so bad for you, because when you get right down to it, the British taxpayers are paying for this visit, whether directly or indirectly. Harry and Meghan said they're coming over. Ravek said, okay, for this little bit of Invictus, we will pay. But then the king says, you can stay on one of my palatial kingly properties, which means that the king's security, which is paid by you, will be paying for these people. And, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, we've talked about this before, but it's not like the British public is doing all that well right now. Economics in the US and the UK, not great.
So, I think British people are fair, and I think nobody begrudges Harry protection from being picked off by a terrorist. You know, we have unfortunately had a very long history, you know, growing up as, you know, seemed to be almost every other week there was some awful terrorist atrocity with the IRA. We understand that as a former serviceman, Harry needs protection, and the situation has always been, it's unchanged. Harry will get the level of protection that Ravek deem he requires. Harry, for some reason, has quibbled with it like crazy, but we all agree, yeah, sure, protect him. That's not a problem. That is not, I don't think that's a problem. I think what would be a problem was if Harry was given, for instance, you know, given Frogmore back. I think people wouldn't like that. I think that would be a sticking point.
100%. We're going to get into his schedule and where he's going to stay in just a minute, but Marianic 715, thank you so much, did make a point. A fair and just father does not sacrifice the welfare of his faithful son in favor of the traitor's vindictive son, even if that is his favorite. Do you think he's doing that?
He can, well, all parents know the struggle, but there is, you know, he can be in no doubt about William's feelings, and he's going ahead and doing this anyway. He will be justifying it to himself, I'm sure, by saying this is about healing a division. And, you know, as a Christian person, that is what you should do, is to try and heal a division. But, you know, it does seem to really disfavor the heir. And, you know, we also know, I think, that there are issues of, you know, style and substance, differences of style and substance between the king and his heir. So this just adds to that sort of tinder keg, which is, you know, waiting for it to go boom. You know, is Harry going to do a Brooklyn Beckham and write a 6-page Instagram statement about how he's been controlled by his family? That's the next thing.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But I do wonder. Well, I wonder a lot, but let's get into what you learned, because at first it was just they're coming for 4 days. Then it was reported they're coming for 2 weeks. How long are they staying? What are they doing? And where do you think they will be staying? Will they be staying in London or in Sandringham?
Well, it could be both. My person seemed to think that Sandringham was the most likely, but they didn't actually have direct knowledge of where. So I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not going to say I do. There are some events in London, and there are some events outside London. Obviously, Invictus is in Birmingham. And, you know, then there is time when they are not doing events, and they could be quite comfortably at Sandringham. The king spends time at Sandringham. There's a big flower show in Sandringham in early July. They could quite happily show up there and spend time with the king there.
Now, do you think they'll be at the main house? Because I heard absolutely no way the main house.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm sure they will.
Oh my
they are going to be afforded
Williams.
every courtesy. It is the full unpicking of Mexit. This is not a drill, Paula. And you know, that you and I may have feelings about it, that doesn't make it not true. It is
true. That is true. But also, I think William's head is going to pop up.
Well, possibly. Yeah.
I can't. What the heck is going on? It's like, hey, you can crap on my dinner plate, set it on fire, and I'm going to come back for more. So what exactly are they going to be doing? What is Meghan going to be doing? Because we know this girl does not like to hide.
Well, Harry's friend was saying, oh no, Meghan's doing nothing. No, but this is not true. She is doing all of the Invictus launches with Harry. She will be at his side. They're doing all the public facing stuff they're doing as a couple, but not with the kids. So
got it. So she will be at the Well Child and Scotty's Little Soldiers and all this stuff, doing what
she will be the supporting consort. Yeah. 100%.
Are any of these outfits going to appear on one-off like they did from Australia or from the Invictus Games?
The agreement is that they will not.
Really? So she's not allowed to sell anything while she's
Nothing.
there.
No shenanigans, in the British phrase.
I mean, do we think she's going to hold to that?
I think she has to, because you know what? They have been working on this for 2 years. And you see with what Harry did with Ukraine and the anti-Semitism, how seriously he is taking recalibrating this relationship and actually making it work. He really, really, really wants to make it work. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, the anti-Semitism only started, the crusade against anti-Semitism only really started about 4 weeks ago, because before that they were hanging out with charities and people who were very pro-Hamas and even giving money to anti-Semites via Archwell. So, you know, it seems like they're just invested in saving their ass any way they can, because again, for 2 years, they've kind of seen everything fall off a cliff. But it is interesting that they understand that Harry's father is the one who can save them, whereas Meghan still has no sympathy or compassion for her father, who is back in the States, who still has not met his grandchildren and won't have access to anything.
Yeah, I think he's still in the Philippines, actually, isn't he?
No, he came back for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I can't speak to what's going on in that relationship. Nothing much.
No.
I think it's very sad. I suspect that when Thomas does pass, Meghan will have a story to tell about her childhood, which she hasn't told. And I hear it's going to be ugly. So we just have to wait and see what that will be.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, go to my Substack. I will be updating the Substack next week with the things I'm learning. I will try to do YouTube. It's going to be hard because I don't know about ye old British internet where I'm staying, which is with a fabulous friend. But I will have everything when I get back. I will, of course, try to do some updates. And again, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. All right. Take care.